Lasya Param Asya Kanam Namahe Amaram Pranamani Sachi Sudaruramana Navahasya Karam Navahe Mamaram Pranamami Sachi
traduction.
Yes. Translation.
Yeah. Sachi Sutastaka. It's written by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. It's a prayer to Gauranga by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
So his complexion is the hue of fresh cream, tinged with kung fu. He is the ever-fresh Cupid who shoots arrows of newly blossoming flowers. He bears newer and newer moods of emotional ecstasies. He is fond of performing novel dances. He makes every new jokes that cause much laughter. His brilliant luster is like freshly cast gold. I bow down to Gora, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
He is endowed with ever-fresh love of Godhead. His radiant luster is like the color of fresh butter. His fresh attire is arranged in ever new fashions. He relishes ever new mellows of love for Krishna. He shines in ninefold new ways, while executing the ninefold processes of devotion. He is permeated with a most auspicious loving nature. I bow down to Gora, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
He is always removing the suffering of matter.
3. He's absorbed.
He is absorbed in devotion to Sri Hari. He maintains the chanting of the names of Hari. While chanting, he counts the holy name on the finger of his hand. He is addicted to the name of Hari. He always has tears of love welling in his eyes. I bow down to Gora, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
He's always removing the suffering of material existence for mankind. He is the goal of life for persons who are dedicated to their supreme interest. He inspires men to become like honeybees, eager for the honey of Krishna Prem. He removed the burning fever of the material world. I bow down to Gora, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
He who motivates pure devotion unto himself, who is most attracted to his beloved servitors. By his dramatic dancing, he exhibits the characteristics of a king of paramours. He causes the mind of beautiful young village women to dance. I bow down to Gora, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
He plays kirtans as his throat emits sweet melodious sounds, and the vibrant notes of the veena are softly played. He thus inspires the devotees to perform It was the same. He inspires the devotees to perform dramatic dancing that is infused with aspects of his own devotional service. I bow down to Gora, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
He is accompanied by the Sankirtana movement, which is the religious practice for the age of Kali. He is the son of Nanda Maharaj, come again. He is the extraordinarily brilliant ornament of the earth. His preaching mood is suitably adapted to the cycle of birth and death. His consciousness is fixed in meditation on his own form of Krishna. He is always accompanied by his transcendental abode. I bow down to Gora, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
His eyes, the sole of his feet, and his clothing are reddish like the color that heralds the rising sun. As he uttered his own names, his voice faltered. He awakened a sweet flower to life through the universe. I bow down to Gora, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi.
Shri Sachi Sutastakam ki, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Gauranga ki, Chandra Mukha ki, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya ki, Jai Gaur Premanande. Jai Jai Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya
Nityananda,
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda,
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda,
Jai Jai Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda,
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda,
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda,
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda,
Jai reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, isn't it? Adi Lila, chapter 10, verse
21 onwards.
21 onwards. Okay. So, okay. Pandita Jagananda Prabhura Pranarupa
Pandita Jagadananda Prabhupada
Loke Kyata Yeno Satyabhamar Svarup
Loke Kyata Yeno Satyabhamar Svarupa
Pandita Jagananda Prabhura Pranarupa
Pandita Jagadananda Prabhupada
Loke Kyata Yeno Svayamara Svarupa
Loke Kyata Yeno Satyabhamar Svarupa
Pandita Jagananda Prabhura Pranarupa
Pandita Jagadananda Prabhupada
Loke Kyata Yeno Satyabhamara Svarupa
Loke Kyata Yeno Satyabhamar Svarupa Pandita Jagananda Prabhupada Pandita Jagananda Prabhupada Loke Kyata Yeno Satyabhamar Svarupa Loke Kyata Yeno Satyabhamar Svarupa Pandita Jagananda Prabhupada Loke Kyata Yeno Satyabhamar Svarupa Loke Kyata Yeno Satyabhamar Svarupa Pandita Jagananda Prabhupada Pandita Jagananda Prabhupada Loke Kyata Yeno Satyabhamar Svarupa Loke Kyata Yeno Satyabhamar Svarupa Pandita Jagananda Prabhupada Loke Kyata Yeno Satyabhamar Svarupa Loke Kyata Yeno Satyabhamar Svarupa Pandita Jagananda
Pandita Jagananda.
Nommé Pandita Jagananda.
Pandita Jagananda
Oh, sorry, that's the French version, so I will translate into English. Prabhupada of the Lord.
Of the Lord.
Shall I give you English one?
Yeah, you can.
I have
Okay.
chapter 10, 21.
Pranarup, life and soul,
Life and soul.
Loke, in the world,
In the world.
Kyata, celebrated,
Celebrated.
Yeno,
Yeno.
who,
Who?
Satyabhamara,
Satyabhamara.
of Satyabhama,
Of Satyabhama.
Svarupa,
Svarupa.
personification,
Personification.
translation by His Divine Grace, Abhaishara Naravinda, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. Pandita Jagadananda, the sixth branch of the Chaitanya tree, was celebrated as the life and soul of the Lord. He is known to have been an incarnation of Satyabhama, one of the chief queens of Lord Krishna. Purport. There are many dealings of Jagananda Pandit with Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Most importantly, he was the Lord's constant companion and especially took part in all the pastimes of the Lord in the houses of Shivas Pandit and Chandrachekhar Acharya. Should I continue? And the next verse, I will continue until the verse 23 because it's dealing with Jagananda Pandit, even though there is no purport, and you will begin by Raghava Pandit on Sunday. Pritye karite chahe Prabhu rana paran Vairagya roke bhaye Prabhu namani kahana Jagannatha Pandit, as an incarnation of Satyabhama, always wanted to see the comfort of Lord Chaitanya. But since the Lord was a sannyasi, he did not accept the luxuries that Jagannatha Pandit offered. 23. Dvijane Katmati Lagaya Kondala Tanara Prityer Kata Ajay Kabibashobakal. Translation. They sometimes appeared to fight over trifles. These quarrels were based on their affection, of which I shall speak later. Umaganti Minandasya Ganangara Sharakaya Shakshulvinitam Yena Tasme Shigurave Namaha Shashitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutare Svayam Rupam Kadamayam Datati Svapadantikam Amriyam Shri Pam Sagrajatam Sagana Ragunatam Tam Sadviram Sadvaitam Savantam Harijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitam Eka Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Krishna Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaveshwari Vishakam Devi Ramam Manadiye Om Chakatpatarudhyasha Kripa Sindhu Vyavacha Titana Mahane Vyo Vaishnaveyo Namo Namah Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Jagannatha Pandit is a mysterious and mischievous associate of the Lord, because his dealings are unknown to those who are most attached to rules and regulation. Because mainly when we hear about Jagannatha Pandit, we hear, he tries to break the sannyas vows of austerities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by bringing pillows, bed with cotton and plum inside, and he wants to bathe him with oil, massage his feet with fragrant oil, so much so that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, I just do by memory, but he replies something like, maybe you remember what he said word for word, but he says something like, I will look like a prostitute. You remember word for word what he said? When Jagannatha Pandit tried to massage him, offer him the oil, he says, yes, and after you will bring me prostitute. Or something like that. I think so he said that. Something related to woman and prostitute, for sure. So, like this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was refusing the dealings of Jagannatha Pandit. But the Lord is, through Rupa Goswami says, Datati, Pratikrinati, Guyamakyati Prichati, Bhukte Bhujayati Shiva, Sadvidi Puti Lakshanam. So we have to relate. So to be stubborn, to be attached to rules and regulation at the detriment of Vaishnava relationship can be done to a certain extent. But Jagannatha Pandit will go to such an extent that he will fast for 3 days and he will close himself in his room and not see anybody. So hearing about Jagannatha Pandit moroseness, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bought him some plate of prasadam and asked him to get out and start to eat again. But Jagannatha Pandit says, no, you have to accept something that I offer to you, because I'm doing those oil. When you hear about Jagannatha Pandit doing those oil far away in Vrindavan, bringing that walking so many thousands of kilometers and bringing that to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he expect the Lord to be happy, Nandana Swami told the story that how he built a nice toilet for Prabhupada, the story. He built a nice toilet for Prabhupada in Vrindavan in USA, New Vrindavan, and he involved everyone and everybody cleaned the toilet, the new bathroom, so that when Prabhupada come in New Vrindavan, then he will say, wow, that's wonderful, I have a super nice bathroom, your devotees are so clean and so nice. But Prabhupada, when he came to New Vrindavan, when he would go pee and poop, because there were forests, he will go outside. So he won't use the toilet, anything. So Radha Swami was, devastated because he had involved so much of his time and energy into that. Similarly here, Jagannatha Pandit is investing so much of his energy and time, and the Lord does not reciprocate. So he decided to fast, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then felt he has to reciprocate. I cannot stick to rules and regulation to the extent that my devotees are displeased. So I have to find a balance between the public opinion of the life of a perfect sannyasi and the affectionate dealing of my devotees. So he said, I will accept a bed, but not with plum and cotton. I will accept a bed made of leaf. That's good enough. And not any leaves. Leaves that are dried and with pine, Like, what kind of leaves? He has accepted something like palm leaves, something which has, some tip. And I'm not really comfortable, You could take some round leaves like this. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took leaves with tip, So, and this is the best I can do. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Jagannatha Pandit was pleased. So he did that bed, that sannyasi bed. And like that, Jagannatha Pandit, by his affection, will try to force Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to go beyond his austerities and go into the path of enjoyment, while Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will do everything to take distance from enjoyment and will try to go on the path of renunciation. So they were on opposite side and tracks. Their mutual dealings were united. So Jagannatha Pandit exemplify certain things which are connected to more advanced stage of devotional service. Because when we read Jagannatha Pandit dealings with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we may think that he does not listen to his spiritual master. Because many times the spiritual master says no. The spiritual master in the person of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Guru Gauranga. And Jagannatha Pandit, what he does not simply say, okay, I will accept your choice. He take the pot of oil and break it down on the floor and leave on the spot. He doesn't even clean. He leave the oil in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's room so that he has to clean. And while cleaning, he will try to think about what to do with Jagannatha Pandit. So he leaves a mess, Not only he says no, but he leaves a mess. So can you imagine? Your spiritual master says, I don't want any prasadam today. And you brought a big plate of prasadam. And you slam it on the floor and say, I'm going. You think Janananda Maharaj would be pleased?
I think so.
I'm sure he will love. So this is really advanced stage of dealings with the Guru. And so in the early stage, the early stage are described in the third canto, dealing with the Guru. And there is a verse. Itavati eva shushrusha karya pitari putra ke badam iti anumanyeta goravena goror vacha. That means, itava deva shushrusha. The disciples should listen to the guru in the same way that the son is obeying the father by saying yes, sir, at every order and command. So we call that Goravena. That's good because it's connected to Gora. So Goravena means obeying the order. But Jagananda Pandit is, we read, is a constant companion of the Lord. Still he has quarrel. How is it possible? He does not obey the Lord, but he is acting as a constant and perfected disciple, we can say. So it says later in the Bhagavatam that there is another type of dealings with the spiritual master, and it's called Vishramba or Vishrambena. And it appears in the dealings between Prithu. The first time we see that word appear in the dealing of Prithu Maharaj and Archie. So Prithu Maharaj is performing austerity before to go to the spiritual world. And as Archie, the expansion of Lakshmi, is performing nice dedicated service. And it says that she sometimes massage his feet, sometimes take his hand, rub his hand with oil. Sometimes she prepares nice prasadam with roots, leaves from the jungle. And Prithu in exchange, Prithu Maharaj, even though a Vanaprasth or austere person, is reciprocating with affectionate words. And the specificity of those dealings is that Prithu Maharaj, except for a certain exceptional time to show his gratefulness to his wife, would not say anything. And the Archie, the wife, would serve her husband without being ordered. So she received no order, but she will know perfectly what her husband needs. She didn't need order. That's a further step in intimacy with the Guru, is that first the Guru gives you order because you need a direction. When you follow the direction like the north, that means this is your direction, you don't leave that direction, then the Guru does not need to order you anymore because there is trust. The dealings are now based on trust. So it says in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada quotes that verse, there is 3 types of gurus. One guru is feeding the disciples like a bird, or mouth to mouth, so it's close. You know, it needs really a lot of attention. And then the guru is like a fish. The fish never blink, you know. So he always look at the disciple. So the trust is not complete yet. Still, we are not feeding like a bird, you know. We don't need constant attention, but still, the eyes are on us. Will he do mistake or not? And then the guru behave like a tortoise. He just meditate. That means this time I do not need to supervise him. I can just think about him. I know he will do good things. So the supervision takes some distance. So similarly, further we advance in Guru's dealing, or Vaishnava dealing even, then the aspect of the Guru, monitoring aspect of the Guru becomes less and less, and friendship grows more and more. And what happens when you have a lot of friendship with the Guru, then sometimes, for example, I remember, I'm not saying that I'm a good friend of my Guru, even Jananda Maharaj sometimes says, what do you think about that? So, as if I'm an equal. So sometimes the Guru is even asking you your opinion, your advice for certain things, as if you are not a disciple anymore, but on the same platform. So that's the humility of the Guru. But in the same time, there is some friendship bound there, because the Guru could accept an opinion which contradicts his own opinion. So that means on those dealings, then the more there is friendship, the more I accept to be maybe adapting myself, even though I'm the superior, even though I'm the spiritual master, still maybe my disciples can have good idea that I don't have, and maybe he has a vision on certain subject that I don't have, some type of expertise. We see the dealings of Prabhupada with Tamal Krishna Maharaj, for example, which are really based on that kind of intimacy, where Prabhupada would say to Tamal Krishna, what do you think about that? Is it good? Should we do like this or like that? And sometimes Tamal Krishna would even disobey the order of Prabhupada knowingly, because he thinks, I have a better idea. And sometimes it will work, but sometimes Prabhupada will be very, very, very furious. And so it says in the memories of Tamal Krishna Maharaj that for 1 year, when visitors will come, or when someone was present with Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Prabhupada will show and say, that's my disciple, he's really bad, he does not follow my orders. And like this, he will break the pride of Tamal Krishna for 1 year. Constantly he would remember. You remember that disciple, you see? He does not listen. Don't do like him. Like that. But we understand the will of Tamal Krishna Maharaj was, I have maybe some opportunity that Prabhupada doesn't know, or maybe I have some information that he doesn't know. Because he has often my advice, then I'm sometimes supposed to take initiative. So this time I will take an initiative and I will please Prabhupada. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. Because they were bound of friendship, they would mutually trust others and forgive each others for their correction, for their mischief in the part of Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. In the Bhagavatam, there is also many cases where the disciple does not follow the order of the spiritual master. Do you have any example? It comes in the 4th canto, and then in the 5th canto, and then later on as well. The first case where the disciples knowingly does not listen to the spiritual master but get success. It begins by a D. No? Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj at the beginning, Narada Muni is testing him. Go home. You will do devotional life later. Please, you are just a child. Don't be whimsical. Don't stay in the forest and meditate as you are not ready. What Dhruva Maharaj says? Your instructors are not made for me. I'm too determined. I want to do my way. And what Narada Muni did, he says, okay, I will adjust myself. And I will give you something that fits your character, So sometimes the spiritual master may say something, but it's a test. You are expected to not follow the order. Like, prime example is the gopis. Or when then Krishna calls them on the flute, he says, why are you here? I'm not your husband. We are in the night. Women are supposed to be at home with their husband, so please go. What the gopis are doing, they say, no, our husband is wrong, is false. You are the true husband. We are staying there. You call us for a reason. We are here to please you. So like this, sometimes there is treachery with the spiritual master. I've been witness of that with my spiritual master. When he was in Mayapur, he came from a trip from Bangladesh, I think so. So he did not eat. So I said to Gurudev, Maharaj, you want to eat? I can do some prasadam for you if you are hungry. He says, no, just stay there, that's okay. I'm not hungry. And then the Gandharvika comes into the room. Gandharvika Rai, my god sister.
Yeah, what?
And Guru Maharaj is saying, she asked the same question. So Guru Maharaj says, no, that's okay, I'm not hungry. But she says, no, I will do it anyway. You have to eat. And Maharaj says, okay. So when I saw that, I thought, my God, she's pushing the Guru. She's not obeying the Guru, but the Guru is happy. How is that? So there were some dealings that I didn't understand, And I understood the Guru did not want me to cook because he didn't want me to become tired or to exhaust me. He didn't want me to cause inconvenience. Actually, if I would ask and be determined to offer that with love, you will be obliged to reciprocate. Because Gandharvika at that moment shows some determination. I want to serve you. That's my pleasure. You are angry or not, I don't care. I want to please you. Please, I'm sure you will take something. And yeah, it worked like this. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be obliged to reciprocate because he could not tolerate the suffering of his devotees. So Jagananda Pandit could not tolerate the suffering of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a sannyasi. By affection, he would desperately try in any way to improve his comfort for his back pain, for his feet. So he brings some oil, bring a nice cushion for his neck, bring a nice mattress. But there were so many instances where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did refuse. But necessarily, because it was causing so much trouble to his devotees, similarly, same master, same disciple, each other cannot tolerate suffering from one part or the other. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, my devotee is now suffering because I cannot accept to withdraw from rules and regulation. I cannot tolerate that anymore. As he cannot tolerate that I'm suffering. So, like this, when you reach some level of intimacy, you have so much affection for your Guru Maharaj that you cannot tolerate to see him suffering. Even though he may be a sannyasi, even though he may be strict, you cannot listen to him because you want him to be happy and to relax. So my conclusion was, after that, when I saw the dealings of my spiritual master with my god sister, I thought, maybe next time I'm just bringing prasadam. And I just say to Guru Maharaj, if you want to take, it's okay. If you don't want to take, just take a piece so that it becomes Mahaprasadam and I distribute that. But at least I will have prepared something, And he doesn't need even me to order because I know him now. He will say always no, but in fact he can say yes. So we discussed until now two characteristics. So Archie will not need to be ordered. So the spiritual master could be kept silent. She knows the mind and the needs of the spiritual master. And second example is Jagananda Pandit, where he cannot tolerate the spiritual master suffering, so he opposes his will to try, because he has affection, by affection. And there is another example that I'm thinking is it's really that's the topmost platform. So that's just for the sake of talking about it. But when you look at the dealings with the Vrajabasis, especially some who are of contrary nature, like Satyabhama or like Jagananda Pandit, then they know even how to please the spiritual master by correcting him, or Krishna by correcting him or opposing him. They know to give him pleasure by bringing friction. So that's what Krishna tried with Rukmini in Dwarka. Dear Rukmini, just chase me away. I'm not a good husband. Go and see someone else. And Rukmini says, no. Actually, what you say is fool. Your words are foolish. Because no other husband can satisfy me as you. So, who will relinquish the Lord for a perishable man? You are the real husband. If I will leave you, I will be the real fool. So I'm not trusting your words. So sometimes the dealing with Krishna are like that. And sometimes the dealing with the spiritual master can be also like that. Some are taking, there is some friction. Like you look at Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Prabhupada, they would sometimes even scream at each other. And I remember at the last days of Prabhupada, when he was on his bed, he had how we call that? A doctor. There is a word for that. Kaviraj. Yes. I think that this is the word. And he would administrate some medicine for Prabhupada, and at some point he would get better. So there were a dispute between Bhakti Chaudhary and Tamal Krishna Maharaj. Bhakti Chaudhary would say to Prabhupada, you need to rest. Continue to take the medicine and soon you will get really better. And Tamal Krishna will say to Prabhupada, now you get better, you can even walk. Devotees are waiting for you all over the world. Come now and let us preach now. Let us not lose a minute. So Bhakti Chaudhary will say to Tamal Krishna Maharaj, are you mad? Our spiritual master is just recovering from death and you want him to be wasted again? And Tamal Krishna Maharaj will say, but he is living by preaching. We need to take him out. Every devotee thirsts to see him. We need to please the devotees. So there were confrontation. And Prabhupada will be in between, He would be more inclined to stay, but because Tamal Krishna insisted so much, then they organized the tour. They began by the Manor, and they were supposed to go to America, Canada, Europe, and so on. But you know the story. As soon as Prabhupada landed on London, Bhaktivedanta Manor, they did get really sick. So much sick that it was even worse than before being taking the medicine. So they have to take him back immediately, in emergency. So Tamal Krishna was really worse after that. And he would beg forgiveness from Prabhupada. Oh, why have done that? Sorry, Prabhupada, please. I'm so sorry. I have insisted and you were weak. I should not have done that. And he was really feeling responsible for the sickness of Prabhupada. And he would beg Bhakti Chaudhary to forgive him. But Prabhupada will not consider that the fault of his disciple. He will consider that his affection for the preaching mission. He wanted to push forward more and more. Similarly, sometimes I have seen we can push our spiritual master. Sometimes he's sick, And for example, your spiritual master will be sick, and every devotee wait for his kirtan or his class. Because he's sick, cannot happen. So maybe the authorities or the intimate associate, they come and they say, Guru Maharaj, do you have some strength? Do you think you can do it? And by insisting, the Guru may do it. And sometimes after the Guru does, even though he's sick, then he feels better than before. Sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes in New York, my spiritual master, when he had cancer, he would be just 1 year before he is departing, Then he would be in New York and he had difficulty to breathe and it would be like that. And some brahmacharis, they came to him and they say, Guru Maharaj, you want to lead the kirtan? And Guru Maharaj says, no, I'm really weak, I prefer to listen. But the brahmachari insisted, no, Guru Maharaj, this is maybe a last opportunity, we are all waiting for your kirtan. And His Holiness Kanavakananda Swami said to his servant, Nitai Pudakamara, he said, this guy is always pushing me to do kirtan. I feel really weak, he doesn't understand, but I will do it. So he did the kirtan, and he did the roaring kirtan for a few hours. And he was happy. Yet, it's well necessarily had to do in that. With that kirtan on. So similarly, we may sometimes know the art of pleasing the Guru by opposing him. That's the Vrajabasis who are doing that, the Gopis who are from the left side. But that's just for the sake of studying further relationship of love. As for my sake, I'm trying already to follow the orders of my spiritual master. That's good enough for me. I don't need to. I try to not disobey him because my normal parameter is to disobey him. So I try for now to be Goravina, to follow the orders of spiritual master. That's good enough for me. But still, I think we should train ourselves as far as we grow in our spiritual life to learn the art of taking initiative, to not be ordered, but taking some step for the spiritual master to know his mind and to be acquainted, to not tolerate his suffering. So, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Yare Deka Tareka Krishna Upadesh, Hamara Gyana Guru Hanatare Desh, Kabuna Badive Toma Vira Yashaya Saranga, Punarapi Etabi Pabe Murashanga. He said, wherever you meet, wherever you are, preach Krishna Upadesh, the instruction of Krishna. And in this way become a guru. If you do that, even though you are a householder in contact with sense object, I will be always present in your heart to protect you, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Gauranga says. So we are all meant to take relationship or we are all meant to drive certain persons in our life, to take responsibilities on their behalf. So there will be some sort of dealings like that, like senior and young person. And as far when we will grow by the example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by the example of the Bhagavatam, then we will understand how to deal, when to accept, and when how to preserve our sadhana, when to let down a little bit our principles. Let's say, for example, I'm supposed to eat 1 time per day, but if a devotee cook a feast for me, maybe I can take a morsel. Or let's say I'm supposed to chant, I'm a sannyasi, I'm supposed to chant 32 rounds, for example, I do that, but that's a long time I didn't see my disciple. Maybe that day I won't chant so much. Or I'm a brahmachari, I'm supposed to read a lot, but for the pleasure of the temple president, I may have to reduce that.
Who's the president?
Let's say I'm a grihastha. And I'm supposed to maybe you have an example better than I can give. Or you can put the grihastha principles for the sake of Vaishnava relationship. You have an example? I'm trying to think of an example, but
Not directly coming to my mind.
um,
You are supposed to work to bring money for family, but one day the wife is sick, so he don't go to work for staying with the wife.
mhm.
So he
For the
breaks
sake of relationship with
for
the
sake
wife.
of relationship with
Okay,
the
that's a
wife.
nice example. Really good. Yeah, it could be how you can, by affection for this, and for by concern for the spiritual life of your wife or the children, then you may, maybe restrain the amount of charity you give or the amount of income you have. It's a good example.
Another one, the wife is sick, but you are temple president, and in the temple there is a big problem, like no electricity or something like this, and for the sake of serving the Vaishnav in the temple,
You
let the wife as
sit
well, and you go cooking.
Okay, that's a real shot at the video.
Would you do that?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm sure you will.
Why not?
That's the problem. I have this extreme of the
Yeah.
of the
Yeah, you
situation.
have to choose between
But what?
one devotee and a group of devotees. Then the number is more important.
Yeah, but without
But
wife,
without
you cannot do anything
yeah,
after
that's true.
in the Ashram at least.
You need to maintain the motor and to take care of the motor.
Yeah.
And the engine, like this, the car can go on. Yeah. So it's 9 o'clock. Do you have any question?
Yeah, I wanted to share one angle also of looking at things regarding the relationship with spiritual master when he will ask opinion. I fully agree with what you said, that out of humility, but also there is an angle I noticed from Jananda Maharaj, like he also asks us because he wants us to be in the mood of thinking ourselves, to learn and to be not relying on him, but to start ourselves to think and to anticipate, to use our intelligence.
That's a good thing.
And so I was in the game at some point with him in that. And he was asking me, so what do you think about this? I was expressing my opinion and said, yes, but what about this? So he knew already where he wanted to go, But he was driving me and showing, okay, but this aspect you didn't consider. And what about this? And what about that? I said, okay. So here we are, you see? So this is the thing. And it's a way also for the spiritual master to instruct us, to make us take more responsibilities and apply proper intelligence on situations. This is what I noticed.
That's a super nice point. Yeah.
You often do that.
Yes.
Often also he asks and you answer, and after he knows something, he do what he was thinking. Asking or thinking you will say him what to do, but he do what he think. That's all.
I remember one time, your spiritual master and me, we were driving from here to New Mayapur. That's another type of thing, but he told me, take the road, that road. I told Jananandama, this is not the good road. We will be delayed. Your spiritual master was adamant. No, you take that road, I know. So I thought, I know that's wrong, but because I don't want to get friction, I will obey. So we drove and we get stuck. And he looked at me and he says, you were right. And sometimes I'm just thinking I know, but it's not like that. So I thought that was a good thing I did, and I will do it like that again, not because I wanted to be right, but because I want to preserve the relationship with the spiritual master. So like that, the disciple does not, even though we discussed a lot of disobeying the order, for the sake of the relationship, 99% of the time we follow the order.
Yeah.
Because that's the usual way it should be.
Actually, the satisfaction is when you see the guru happy. So sometimes you have to follow, but sometimes you have to not follow to make him happy.
Yeah.
And you see him so happy when you contradict him. John is so much like this.
Yeah.
He like this.
Yeah.
He's really someone who like to joke and to be friend. Not he don't like really the
Yeah.
mood of disciple.
It's servant.
But for sure, the beginning we should do good disciple. But more we go, more we should be friend. I think with him. He just like to joke and to play. This is how you make him happy.
That's a nice art. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we read, he was also Asyakaram. He would do constantly jokes, even though he was a sannyasi. So generally we see sannyasis that are really strict, but here the master of all sannyasis was really joking with everybody. So it's a good example. Janananda Maharaj is exemplifying that really nicely.
Even Prabhupada jokes a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
On the phone, I always take the position of the disciple when he calls me. But after a few minutes, he just finished. He just start to make some joke and he just stopped everything.
You have to respect.
Last time he called me, I was doing, so during the meeting of preaching, we said like this, we will do like this, we have the temple to stay, and after some time you say, oh, I think I will take a tent and sleep in Châtelet there. Yeah, I said, so I understand the mood, so yeah, good idea, but I think the tent are really expensive now. So I just started to go in this mood and he just build like this after he didn't care about the meeting. So he just, this is the mood of Jamna Goswami.
Thank you, my dear Vaishnavas. I think it's time because people are screaming.
Yeah.
So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki
Jai.
Jai, Pandit ki
Jai.
Hare Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Jai.